Shalom, dear friends. Welcome back to the channel where an old Jew shares the wisdom that has helped us survive and thrive for thousands of years. Call me Grandpa Isaac or whatever feels right. The important thing is, I'm here not to lecture you from the Talmud, but to give you practical, time-tested advice straight from life and a few well-worn wallets. Today we're talking about how to get rich by 30. Not billionaire with a yacht rich, but truly rich, when money works for you instead of you slaving for it your whole life. I've watched boys with empty pockets turn into men with full accounts, and I've seen others lose everything because they ignored simple truths. If you're ready to listen to an old Jew who survived inflations, crises, and 3 daughters' weddings, then get comfortable. And right now, while you're still excited, hit that like button on this video and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the next secrets. Trust me, they're worth it. Let's go. All right, my dear friends, let's start with the most important thing, because if you get this wrong, nothing else matters. You want to be rich by 30? First, forget about the money for a second. Real wealth begins here, in the head, in the heart. Our sages in Pirkei Avot asked a very simple question thousands of years ago. Who is rich? And the answer wasn't the one with the biggest house or the fanciest car. No. Who is rich? He who is happy with his lot. Sounds too spiritual? Maybe. But let me tell you from experience, I've seen men with millions who wake up miserable every day because someone else has a bigger yacht. And I've seen simple shopkeepers who smile like they own the world because they're content. The moment you stop being jealous of what the other guy has, that's when the doors start opening for you. We Jews didn't survive 2,000 years of exile by chasing gold like crazy people. We survived, and often thrived, because we learned one thing early. Money is a tool, not the boss. Chase money desperately, and it runs away like a scared cat. Treat it with respect, build value for others, stay disciplined, and it comes looking for you. So rule number 1 from your old friend Isaac: kill envy today. Look at your own life, your own skills, your own opportunities. Compare yourself only to yesterday's version of you. That's it. Do that, and already you're ahead of 90% of people who will never be rich, no matter how many side hustles they start. Next, we talk about work, because mindset without action is just daydreaming, and I didn't bring you here for fairy tales. Stay with me, we're just getting started. Now, my friends, let's talk about work, because a beautiful mindset without sweat is just a nice dream. And I'm not here to sell you dreams. We Jews have a word for effort, hishtadlus. It means do your part, work hard, be smart, hustle. But never forget that the results come from above. You plant the seed, water it, pull the weeds. But the growth? That's not all you. That's bitachon, trust. So don't just work hard like a donkey pulling a cart. Work smart like a merchant who knows where the real money is. First lesson, pick something that solves real pain for people. Throughout history, Jews often went into trade, finance, real estate, medicine, law, fields where one good idea or one honest deal can multiply many times over. Why? Because value creation beats brute force every time. Second, start early. Compound interest isn't just for money, it's for skills too. If you learn sales at 18, code at 20, negotiate like a pro by 25, by 30, you're not starting from zero, you're starting from 10 years of momentum. I tell my grandsons, the snowball starts small, but roll it early, and by the bottom of the hill, it's unstoppable. Third, and this one hurts some people to hear, stop trading time for money forever. Build something that pays you even when you sleep, a business, investments, rental properties, digital products. Money should work for you, not the other way around. I once knew a young man who worked 80 hours a week in a factory. Good boy, honest. But at 35, he was still broke. Another boy started fixing computers in his garage at 19. By 28, he had a small chain of repair shops and people working for him. Same effort level? No, smarter direction. So ask yourself tonight, am I building assets or just trading hours? Choose wisely, because time is the one thing you can't buy back. We're halfway there. Next, the secret most people miss completely: giving to get. Don't go anywhere. Now comes the part most people laugh at, until they try it and see the results. We Jews have a very old secret. The more you give, the more comes back. Not magic, not karma in the fluffy sense, just simple cause and effect, written in the Torah and proven over centuries. The Talmud says, give tzedakah first, and wealth will follow. Maimonides, one of our greatest thinkers, wrote that anyone who gives charity properly will never become poor. Sounds impossible? I've seen it happen too many times to count. Rule is simple. Give before you feel rich. Start with 10% if you can, of your income, even if it's small. Can't do 10? Do 5. Do 1. Just start. Give to people in need, to good causes, to education, to your community. Give quietly if you want. The point isn't to show off. Why does it work? Because when you open your hand to give, you're telling the universe, or Hashem, or whatever you call the force that runs things, I trust there's enough. I'm not afraid to let go. And strangely, doors open. Opportunities appear. People remember your kindness when they're in a position to help you. I knew a young tailor in the old country, barely made enough to eat. But every week he gave a little to the synagogue fund for orphans. Years later, that same fund helped him open his first shop. By 35, he owned 3. Coincidence? Maybe. But I've heard that story 100 times with different names. Proverbs says, honor the Lord with your wealth and the first fruits of all your produce. Then your barns will be filled to overflowing. Give first, not last, not when it's convenient. First. So tonight, before you go to bed, look at your wallet or your bank app and ask, what can I give away right now? Even $5. Start the flow. Trust me, my dear ones, this is the secret sauce most millionaires won't admit they use, but many do. Next, we get practical, very practical. The steps to actually build wealth by 30. Almost there. Stay with your old friend Isaac. All right, enough philosophy. Let's get down to brass tacks. The actual steps you can start taking tomorrow to be financially free by 30. Step 1. Live below your means. Sounds boring? Good. Boring wins. If you make $5,000 a month, live like you make $3,500. The rest goes to work for you, not to impress strangers on Instagram. I've seen too many young men buy a fancy car at 25 and wonder why they're still broke at 35. Step 2. Invest in yourself first. Education, skills, network. Learn something valuable. Sales, coding, copywriting, real estate, whatever the market pays for right now. Then, invest the money you save. Stocks, index funds, your own business. Start small, but start consistent. Compound interest is the 8th wonder of the world. Einstein called it that for a reason. Put $200 a month away at 22 with 8% average return. By 30, you already have a nice snowball. Step 3. Avoid stupid debt. Credit cards for vacations? No. Student loans for a useless degree? Think twice. Good debt? Yes. Mortgage on a rental property that pays for itself, or business loan if the numbers make sense. Bad debt kills dreams. Good debt builds empires. Step 4. Build relationships. Jews didn't get rich alone. We helped each other. Network honestly. Help people without expecting immediate return. One connection can change everything. I got my first big break because I fixed a neighbor's watch for free. Years later, he introduced me to his brother-in-law, who became my biggest client. Step 5. Take calculated risks. Don't gamble, calculate. Test small. Fail fast and cheap. Most millionaires under 30 failed at least once before they won big. Do these 5 things religiously for the next few years, and by 30 you won't be asking how to get rich. You'll be asking, what do I do with all this freedom? We're almost done, my friends. One last thought before we wrap up. Hang on just a minute longer. So, my dear friends, let's tie it all together. To become rich by 30, really rich, the kind where you have freedom, not just numbers on a screen, you need 4 things working together. A strong mindset that kills envy and finds contentment today. Smart, consistent work that builds assets instead of just trading time. The courage to give first. Open your hand and watch how the blessings flow back. And practical habits. Live below your means. Invest in yourself and your money. Avoid bad debt. Build real relationships. Take smart risks. Do these not perfectly, but faithfully, and the compound effect will surprise you. I've seen it in my own life, in my children's lives, in strangers who listen to old advice like this. One last little story before we part. There was a young man who came to me years ago, worried he'd never catch up. I told him the same things I told you tonight. He started small, saved a little, gave a little, learned a skill, took one calculated leap. By 29, he wasn't a billionaire, but he was free. No boss, no debt, time for family, travel, even a little mischief. That's the real wealth. You can have that too. Start tonight. One small step. Thank you for spending this time with your old friend Isaac. If any of this touched you, please hit that like button. It helps more people find these old truths. And if you want more Jewish wisdom for modern life, business, family, happiness, subscribe and turn on notifications. I've got plenty more where this came from. Write in the comments, which part will you try first? Mindset, giving, investing? I read every one. Go make us proud. Be well, be wise, be generous. Shalom, and see you in the next video.